Hey, New Life fam, this is the first segment in our video series, Exploring Our Roots. This is a time when we're going to look back on the very beginning stages of planting a church, the dreaming stage. Tony and Sarah Tada are going to join Leanne and I in a conversation about some of the things God did in the very beginning as seeds were planted so that we can see the gospel brought beyond even Kansas City so that every man, woman, and child can know and experience the love of Jesus.
Okay, so I'd love it if you guys could just share some stories from the beginning of the church.
We have tons of stories.
We do. Okay.
Yeah. So this crazy idea of planting a church came up one day. Leanne and I had lunch, and I think that evening or a day later, Tony and I were out together, and I was like, I have this crazy idea. And we talked about planting a church. Sarah's here.
This is my wife, Sarah.
There
She's
she is.
joining us from Florida,
So hard, her life. So hard.
where our family's temporary held up while we finish building a house back home.
I remember driving downtown and at first being like, why would we go downtown? Because if you weren't in Kansas City back how many years ago?
15.
15.
15 is what we're celebrating. It was gross. And I mean, it was nothing like it is today. And I'm just so thankful for the vision that these two men had. And God laid on their hearts, because I have seen how God went before us to prepare the space before the people came.
I mean, getting literally one of the top 5 commercial realtors sitting down and telling them we were going to buy a building. And when we found the scare, we totally couldn't afford the ballroom rental.
Totally couldn't.
So instead, we went to the boardroom of the owner and offered to buy his building.
To which they graciously said, "You guys can't, but we'll gift it to you for a year," which was nice.
Yeah. Long story short, we still got it.
That's it.
God did it one way or the other.
I think the dream was born in the calling, but we knew a lot of things that we wanted to be and a lot of things we didn't want to be.
Yes.
And even the idea that I think led us to New Life was just to have that continual stimulus of growth and cultivation and not grow stale in your faith.
Yeah.
And that's been, regardless of the people group or stage for us of our marriage or family, it's just been something that has challenged, because it is easy to just kind of fall into the rhythm of religion, and not stimulate growth. But you also go through seasons.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
When we started the church, we wanted it to be a place with grace, because we knew everyone would be coming from different demographic. We had no idea how diverse that was going to be. We wanted it to be diverse. We knew that, but we had no idea what we were going to be dealing with or would deal with. And at the same time, we wanted it to be safe, but not to love people enough not to leave them there. That's what we wanted them to be able to grow in their walk, but still have the grace for that, which was important.
Man, it feels a little bit like a kid. I mean, we talked about, you guys had Anthony like right in the beginning moments, but you get this idea, you're excited, you have this dream, and up to the launch, we had a lot of prayer and a lot of things happening and God bringing it together. And then shortly thereafter, it's like, the baby doesn't sleep through the night.
That's it.
Yeah.
and it's like, it's messy and difficulties, and you've got relationships, and you've got time, and you've got stresses. And it's like, God called us to be one thing, and that's faithful.
Mm-hmm.
And, we haven't been as flashy probably as most people and as put together as a lot of different things. But one thing that we can hang our hat on is that we've showed up. Yeah. And God's used that, I think, hey, we're not that talented of people, but God will take that faithfulness. And just thinking through all the different people and lives over these last 15 years, it's crazy.
Just the value of being and belonging to something over a long period of time. And our friendship and relationship, and the times that it's been closest and the times that there's been conflict, but then the loyalty because of the calling that's taken us forward, and what that's meant for our families. My kids, this is what they know as their church. This is their home. This is how church happens. And I think that there's a huge mooring in health for them to know that that's what happens. That's what God's people do. And hope that it's something that the people today, 14 years later, continue to feel and get to be part of because of the heart God, I think, shepherded us in the whole group at the beginning.